Hey guys, Shane Simmons coming at you from a town you may have heard of 47 years before it even existed. What am I talking about? Well, a song that led to the naming of this town called Rocky Top, Tennessee. No, I don't guess the Riddler from the Batman series is going to lose any sleep over me taking his job. But anyway, we'll get on the road here and take a look around at this place. A lot of people have heard about it. I don't think a whole lot of people stopped by here, so I thought we'd drive through here and check it out. So, hope you enjoy the ride. Alrighty, so we're on the road, and this sign up ahead should tell you everything you need to know about where we're heading today. Good old Rocky Top. So before it was Rocky Top, it was known as Coal Creek. That was when it very first was founded, around 1798, right into the early 1800s. It's been called Coal Creek until they changed it to Lake City, and that was when about the time they put in Norris Dam, which was in the 1930s-ish. And most recently they changed it to Rocky Top in 2014, and that didn't go as smoothly as maybe they'd hoped. The town voted to change the name, but then they were, with some lawsuits and so forth, brought about by the owners of the copyright to the song, not wanting them to use it. We're stopped at this red light. You can look across the road and see why they call this the Smoky Mountains. You can see the fog setting down on the mountains. But long story short, they prevailed. The town prevailed, and were able to change their name to Rocky Top. And as you drive around through here, you can really see if you're familiar with the song, which surely to God you are, but if not, I can't help you probably. I'm afraid of getting busted for copyright violation and everything else and shut my video down. But anyway, in Rocky Top, the song has been wildly popular for decades here and has actually been embraced. It's the state song, and also the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, they use it for all their sporting teams. You'll hear it at football games, basketball, and it's one of the more popular school fight songs in the country. So, good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. But we're about to go downtown and see what's around. Population is just a shade under 1,800 here. Like I said, it was originally called Coal Creek, named after a creek nearby, but also because there's some coal deposits here, which is kind of unusual for East Tennessee. You see that a lot in West Virginia, you see it in Eastern Kentucky, Southwest Virginia, but not so much in East Tennessee. But oddly enough, there's a lot of coal mining history here in this particular area. And as we're about to see, there's actually a museum down here now. So we're going by the Blue Haven Motel. Kind of a catchy name. You can see a dreary day. Seems like I get a lot of those on my trips, but that's alright. I'll make do. We'll head on down into the downtown area. And just your typical small town Appalachia, really. Like I said, the population is a shade under 1,800, and it's been pretty stable for years. Not much growth or loss. One interesting footnote, speaking of singing in country songs, or bluegrass songs for that matter, but country songs, was there's the amazing songwriter named Dean Dillon. This is his hometown. If you're not familiar with the name Dean Dillon, you definitely should be. If you know anything about country music, you're familiar with some of his work. He wrote a lot of the songs for George Strait, including one of my favorites, Nobody in His Right Mind Would Have Left Her, which is, I absolutely love that song. He also wrote The Chair, which is a cute little song. That road down through there is called the Fraterville Miners Memorial Highway, and that's to honor the men who died in the Fraterville mine disaster on May 19th, 1902, in which 216 men passed away. You can see the top City Hall, and then here's the museum. And I just stayed at Coal Creek Smokehouse, which is named after, of course, the original name of Coal Creek. And that, by the way, their barbecue is amazing, and baked beans, highly recommend them. I endorse them 100%. So if you're in this area, check them out. Nice folks. So we'll drive on down through here, and it's a little bit of hodgepodge of new businesses and old, and makes just kind of your typical Appalachia. Like I said, if there really was a Rocky Top that predated the song, I would imagine it looks something like this. So, and it's truly marketing genius. I mean, it doesn't look like, from all I'm seeing, that it's been fully embraced here. I don't know if there's some pushback or whatever, but the truth of the matter is I wouldn't have visited today had it not been for that. So whoever did that is marketing genius. But you can see still businesses, Lake City TV, there's Lake City Elementary School, and Lake City Tire. So there's not really been as much of an embrace of the name Rocky Top as you would think. In fact, I didn't even see a sign welcoming me into town. But so you think they put a big sign up, try to capitalize on it. If you're going to use it, own it, run with it, you know. But the Fraterville mine disaster, that was one of the more pitiful. I've written about that before, actually, and I'll post that on our Facebook page this week at some point. Heartbreaking. These fellows got stuck in this mine. There was a methane gas explosion, and these guys knew they were dying. And there was this Jacob Vowell wrote one of the most heart-wrenching letters you'll ever read, and he actually perished along with his son, his teenage son. They were stuck in there, and he knew he was about to draw his last breath, and he was writing a letter to his wife. And he said one of the last things he wrote was, "Oh God, for one more breath." Just very pitiful, and just a terrible, one of the early major mine disasters. And then also predating that, there was a mine dispute. There's Lake City Middle School. Predating that, there was a with Bryceville. There was a labor dispute, and the local coal miners, were infuriated by the mine organization, the mine company, using convict lease labor. So there was a hostile dispute. The state had to send in troops to maintain order here, and finally, the laborers won. But at a high cross, and the convict lease labor was highly controversial. It was almost like slavery, modern slavery, really. It occurred just a little bit after the Civil War, and they were trying to look for ways to get cheap labor, so they employed slaves, or not slaves, convicts. And my bad. But they did it, and for virtually nothing. They paid the state a little bit of wages, or a little bit to use it, and then were able to employ these guys and work them half to death, while avoiding having to hire coal miners. But finally that law was outlawed, that practice was outlawed, and so they were able to get some jobs back in the mining industry. Unfortunately, that would lead straight up to the Fraterville mine disaster. But that's the two biggest pieces of history about that. I'm heading out of town, it looks like, toward Clinton area, so I'll wrap this video up. Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate your comments, and now you can say you've seen Rocky Top, Tennessee. You've been here, and I appreciate you riding along with me. And their comments, likes, shares, they're really encouraging, and let me know that people are watching. And also, I don't feel as alone when I'm out here. It feels like I got company right in the car with me. So I appreciate it more than you know. And like I said, if you like, subscribe.